Tom what?
Ripley.
Netflix's Ripley takes viewers on a chilling journey through a web of deceit and murder. Dive into a world of psychological suspense with Ripley, series based on Patricia Highsmith's chilling 1955 novel, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Set in the glamorous yet deceptive world of 1960s New York and Italy, the story follows Tom Ripley, a cunning grifter tasked with a seemingly simple mission: convince a wealthy man's son, Dickie Greenleaf, to return home. However, Tom's world spirals into a web of deceit, fraud, and even murder as he becomes fixated on Dickie's carefree lifestyle. Tom Ripley, a small-time hustler in 1960s New York, gets an unusual proposition. Wealthy businessman Herbert Greenleaf mistakes Tom for a friend of his son, Dickie. Living a carefree life in Italy, Herbert hires Tom to travel to Italy and convince Dickie to return home. Tom readily accepts, enticed by the promise of an all-expenses-paid trip and a hefty sum. Arriving in the picturesque Italian town of Mongebello, Tom meets Dickie and his girlfriend, Marge. Dickie, charming and wealthy, embodies a life Tom desperately craves. Tom spins a web of lies. Pretending to be a friend of Dickie's from college, he ingratiates himself with Dickie and Marge, slowly becoming part of their idyllic world. As Tom spends more time with Dickie, a twisted obsession develops. He becomes fixated on Dickie's lifestyle, wealth, and even his personality. Tom's facade starts to crumble as Dickie grows suspicious. Marge, perceptive and insightful, also senses something off about Tom. To maintain the illusion, Tom resorts to increasingly desperate measures. He forges letters and impersonates Dickie, manipulating both Herbert and Marge. The turning point comes when a confrontation between Tom and Dickie exposes Tom's web of lies. A violent struggle ensues, ending with Tom murdering Dickie in a moment of desperation. With Dickie gone, Tom assumes his identity, meticulously crafting a new life built on stolen wealth and a fabricated reality. However, the thrill of the con is overshadowed by the constant fear of exposure. Tom becomes increasingly paranoid, constantly looking over his shoulder. Another character, Dickie's friend Freddie Miles, becomes suspicious of Tom's true identity. To silence Freddie, Tom commits another murder, further entangling himself in his web of lies. The series explores the psychological toll Tom's actions take on him. He struggles to maintain the facade of Dickie, living in constant fear of being unraveled. The narrative builds towards a climactic showdown, leaving viewers questioning whether Tom will be able to maintain his charade or if his crimes will eventually catch up with him. The ending of the series is left ambiguous, keeping the audience guessing about Tom's ultimate fate. Did he manage to escape the consequences of his actions? Or is his carefully constructed world about to crumble? Ripley delves into themes of identity, obsession, and the allure of a life of wealth and privilege. It explores the destructive nature of deceit and the lengths people can go to in order to maintain an illusion. Ripley on Netflix leaves us wondering what the future holds for Tom, the ultimate con artist. He started out hustling in New York, then somehow ended up living the high life in Italy, thanks to a dead rich kid's identity. We thought he might be done for in Venice, but nope, he outsmarted the suspicious inspector, and even Marge, the dead guy's girlfriend. Remember that time he almost killed her, but then he chickened out and even let her see his fancy new digs. Talk about nerve. Things got hairy again when the private investigator showed up, but even he fell for Tom's lies. Just like that, Tom was free and clear, with a new name and a new life in England. Marge, bless her heart, finally finished her novel. Unfortunately for Tom, she put a picture of the real Dickie in it. Inspector Ravini finally realized he'd been tricked the whole time. So, Tom got caught, right? Well, sort of. Ravini knows the truth now, but Tom's already vanished under a new identity. Good luck finding him in England. This whole story is creepy because we never really know what Tom wants. Money, sure. Fancy stuff, of course. But there's something more to him, something dark and empty. He's like a parasite, feeding off other people's lives. Even with a new life, Tom doesn't seem happy. He has Dickie's things, but not Dickie's life. Is there anything that can satisfy him? That's the scary part.
You're a very hard man to find. No address, phone, office.
He's taking advantage of Dickie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dazzling cinematography, meticulous set design, and superb performances make Netflix's Ripley one of their finest offerings. This series surpasses expectations and delivers on every front, from writing and directing to editing and acting. Andrew Scott is phenomenal as Tom Ripley. He brings an unrelenting intensity to the role, creating a character that is both captivating and menacing. Filmed in striking black and white, the series is a visual feast, showcasing the opulence of Rome and Venice alongside the beauty of the Italian language. This stylistic choice evokes a Hitchcockian atmosphere, adding to the show's suspense. While some might find the casting of certain characters debatable, particularly Dickie Greenleaf, there's no denying Scott's magnetic performance. This Ripley is a more edgy take compared to the 1999 film, offering a fresh perspective on Patricia Highsmith's work. For fans of classic cinema and black and white masterpieces, Ripley is a true gem. Every frame is meticulously crafted, creating a work of art. The suspense builds subtly, drawing viewers in without revealing all its secrets at once. A breath of fresh air in a sea of mediocrity, Ripley is a must-watch for those seeking exceptional storytelling and captivating visuals.